Hello, everyone. We have a huge, and I mean huge, cruiserweight matchup for you today. The matchup sees Erin, aka the Big Lewenski, facing Oisin, aka the Irish Car Bomb. As you can see, one player has joined so far, and that is Oisin, the Irish Car Bomb, playing as John McCain. We will wait for Erin, the Big Lewenski, to join. Before we check that out, let's look at the rankings in our cruiserweight division. It is super tight right now. Marcos, the Midnight Rider, is the number one ranked cruiserweight right now. He got a submission victory over Oisin, but lost to Erin. That submission victory giving him some extra weight of victory, putting him in the 1 seed. Meanwhile, Erin, aka the Big Lewenski, is at 5-1. She beat Marcos, the number 1 seed, so she has a point to make about her ranking, that she could be number 1. She lost to Oisin, though. Oisin, the Irish Car Bomb, here sitting at the number 3 seed. He's 4-1. He has beat Erin, but lost via submission to Marcos. So you have the 2 seed, Erin the Big Lewenski, and the 3 seed, Oisin the Irish Car Bomb, going at it today, fighting for a chance to get in those top 2 rankings for the Cruiserweight Championship. This is how their matchup went last time. Oisin, the Irish Car Bomb, was able to win 293 to 245. Let's see if the Big Lewenski can get some revenge here in a very, very important matchup that could have championship match implications. As we get started here, the Irish Car Bomb goes 2 pips in Big Conservative, while the Big Lewenski goes into Women's Movement and Youth Vote. You can see the Big Lewenski is playing as AOC. These 2 players have chosen to play as C-tier candidates, both of them starting out in national groups. We will have that fast-paced 2-minute turn action with these cruiserweights. Let's see how big of a boost Oisin has. He's got a 20% Big Conservative boost. As he gets there, that will be a nice 60K boost there for Oisin. Meanwhile, Erin gets 54K from Women's Movement and an additional almost 34K from Youth Vote. So if the national group stop there, you have an advantage going to the Big Lewenski, a combined 88K in national group bonus, while Oisin, the Irish Car Bomb, has 60K. Let's look at AOC's bonuses. So a big 45% Women's Movement bonus and a 35% Youth Vote. Those are some big bonuses for a C-tier candidate. Smaller state group bonuses. If we look, a 25% swing state bonus is a nice bonus for a C-tier candidate. We'll see if Oisin decides to go there as Lewenski enters into Georgia and Louisiana. Oisin going for another national group. So Big Lewenski setting up in Old South, while we have a low spend from Oisin trying to get back that national group advantage, going 2 pips, spending 100K in Gun Lobby. He has a 15% Gun Lobby boost there, trying to even out the national groups. He does risk, however, falling behind in state groups. The Big Lewenski will be able to pick up Old South here on this turn. She has a negative 25% Old South bonus, so that won't be a huge bonus, but controlling those states, especially those swing states of Virginia, North Carolina, and Georgia, will be huge moving forward. And getting a head start in those state groups will be huge. Let's see if she makes a move, as well as getting Old South makes a move to get set up for the swing state bonus as well. As she does, she goes into Arizona, First to enter Florida. Georgia to the third, some pressure there by Oisin. He goes to the fourth in-gun lobby, gets almost 30K there. Iowa entered. Pressure in Louisiana, but brought to the third. Michigan entered by Lewenksi. North Carolina to the third. New Hampshire entered. Pennsylvania entered by Oisin, and pressure in Virginia as it's brought to the third. So very nice move there by the Big Lewenksi, picking up 37.5K in Old South bonus. Meanwhile, Oisin evens up the national group bonuses, getting to around that 88K, 89K range. Oisin does not, let's see what, he just challenged those 4 Old South states and Pennsylvania. So let's see if the Big Lewenski can pick up swing state here as she goes to the third in Arizona. She goes to the third in Florida. It's pressured there by Oisin. Georgia, 1 pip swipe from Oisin. Iowa to the third. Michigan to the third for the Big Lewenski as she holds North Carolina. New Hampshire to the third. Pennsylvania to the third for Oisin as he swipes Virginia. 2 pips ahead. Was it enough for Lewenski to pick up swing state? She does. She loses Old South, but picks up a big 90K bonus in swing state. A mistake there by Oisin was spending that money to get to the third in Pennsylvania. That is not necessary, especially since it did not get him any bonuses. He needs that money instead to put pressure into other swing states like Michigan, Arizona, Iowa, or he could have used it to swipe North Carolina or Georgia, or save up for that swipe in Florida. Let's see if he can apply some pressure here now. I love these cruiserweight matchups, the fast-paced action. Remember, there is always a risk that someone could miss their turn with how fast-paced this goes, and that could completely change the game. Makes these cruiserweight matchups kind of a wild card. Again, this matchup has huge implications in rankings. The number 2 and number 3 ranked cruiserweights going at it, and they're both neck and neck with the number 1 ranked cruiserweight. As the Big Lewenski goes into DC, she has some insurance in Florida. Georgia is locked in by Oisin. As he enters into Illinois, he swipes Louisiana by 2 pips. Minnesota entered by the Big Lewenski as she enters into New York as well, and Virginia locked in. So Oisin deciding to lock in those states that he swiped, as well as swiping Louisiana. He does not, however, apply pressure in other states, and he does not take away the swing state bonus. So we're going to be looking for Oisin to hopefully apply some pressure in those other swing states. Lewenski already moving up in New York as she goes to the third in DC. She spends more insurance in Florida. Illinois to the third for Oisin. Pressure in Iowa. There's that pressure. He locks in Louisiana, spending big to lock those states in. Minnesota to the third. North Carolina, there's a huge swipe. He goes 1 pip ahead in North Carolina. That could take the swing state bonus away. A huge swipe. It does. He takes away swing state, and he gains Old South, 42.5K in Old South. Meanwhile, the Big Lewenski picks up a 97.5K town and gown bonus. A huge, gutsy 1 pip ahead swipe there in North Carolina by Oisin, the Irish car bomb. He is still not pressured in Arizona or Michigan, but he successfully takes away that swing state bonus. He takes control of the Old South, trying to prevent the Big Lewenski from getting that AA bonus. AOC has a 10% boost, so that would be a 110K AA bonus going to the Big Lewenski. As he enters into Alabama, he pressures in Arizona, enters into Delaware, Iowa, insurance spent there by the Big Lewenski as Oisin enters Maryland and Mississippi. North Carolina, a swipe attempt blocked. A huge block there by Oisin. as the Big Lewenski enters into Nevada and Wisconsin. A huge block and a huge spend by both competitors there. Oisin spends $212K to erase $255K from the Big Lewenski. We'll see if we have some more action. Another big block in North Carolina. That's such a pivotal state. Oisin does pressure in Arizona now as well. He has not pressured in to Michigan yet. The Big Lewenski has a 4-pip lead in New York. Florida, and she also has New York. That AA bonus, very close for the Big Lewenski, but Oisin gets Alabama to the third. Arizona, a swipe attempt denied by the Big Lewenski as she locks in Arizona. Delaware to the third. Illinois pressure there from the Big Lewenski. Maryland to the third for Oisin. North Carolina is locked in by Oisin. As the Big Lewenski brings Nevada to the third, she applies pressure in Pennsylvania. She enters into Tennessee, and she gets Wisconsin to the third. I do not believe she picked up the AA bonus yet, but she does get back the swing state bonus. $90K coming back in the swing state bonus as she brought Wisconsin to the third, and she brought Nevada to the third, as well as applying some pressure in Pennsylvania. She applies pressure in Illinois, too. As we see right now, I think an advantage. Yes, Oisin had a nice 1-pip swipe in North Carolina, but he is spending a lot of money to lock in these states that he's worried about losing. Look for him to maybe spend huge here in Illinois, which it is nice to lock up states, but it can allow the Big Lewenski to spread out around the map. She's in control of the two big states right now in New York and Florida, and she could move into California and easily get a 3-corner if Oisin is too focused on locking in some of these big states. Let's see where Oisin is at. We might also see Oisin spend big to defend Pennsylvania here too. He has tough decisions to make. Great pressure applied here by the Big Lewenski. That's a huge advantage she has going into turn 10 as she pressures Alabama and Delaware, pressuring all of his states. Ooh, a nice 1-pip block. He doesn't overspend, and he still blocks Illinois. Meanwhile, the Big Lewenski blocks and locks Iowa. She enters into Massachusetts, pressures Maryland, enters into Maine, pressures Mississippi as Oisin brings it to the third, enters Missouri. There's a 2-pip defense in Pennsylvania, but nothing going. And I think we're going to see the Big Lewenski get that AA bonus as she brings Tennessee to the third. She does. $110K in AA bonus. Still a nice block there, only blocking with 1-pip from Oisin as he makes the Big Lewenski spend $150K. But those state groups starting to pile up for the Big Lewenski as she has now doubled the total cash amount over the Irish car bomb. Oisin is not being as unpredictable as the Big Lewenski is right now because he is not pressuring as much. If you look there, the Big Lewenski has pressured everywhere and has entered many more states than Oisin the Irish car bomb. Let's see how turn 11 goes. A swipe attempt blocked in Alabama by Oisin. Delaware insurance spent. What do we got in Illinois? We got 2 pips insurance for Oisin as we have money spent in Michigan, Mississippi, New Hampshire pressure there from Oisin, South Carolina to the third for the Big Lewenski. She brings Utah to the third. Wisconsin, there's some more pressure from Oisin. The Big Lewenski getting set up for that high-tech bonus as she spent there to get into Connecticut. She brought Massachusetts to the third. Utah's to the third. Look for a potential, now that she's way up in money, a potential big swipe in Pennsylvania or Maryland to help get that high-tech bonus. She doesn't. Oh, there is pressure now in Michigan. But as you can see, the cash advantage right now for the Big Lewenski is huge. Getting her win back against Oisin would be big. And I should clarify, I have not shared this yet, but it was decided that because the cruiserweight matches are so short and it's the smallest division, everyone is now playing each other twice in the cruiserweight division. That is only in the cruiserweight division. The other two divisions each play each other once, but these cruiserweights go twice as a nice swipe in Alabama there by the Big Lewenski. She brings Connecticut to the third. More insurance spent in Illinois. Maine to the third for Lewenski. She spends big insurance in Michigan, locking it in, using that swing state money. Missouri to the third. What do we got in Pennsylvania? Just a little insurance there. Rhode Island entered by the Big Lewenski. There's a big state entrance for Oisin as he one pips into Texas. The Big Lewenski continuing to pile up that money. Do we see her try to go for that big swipe in PA or Maryland or even in Illinois? Or she could just get high tech by going to California. It is nice to have that high tech money to get California. Oisin is not going to have enough money to get Texas to the third right now, so that'll still take a couple of turns for him. See what turn 13 brings. There's California. One pip entered by Lewenski as she enters into Colorado. Two and a huge swipe in, lock in Illinois. There it is for the Big Lewenski, getting Illinois back as Oisin locks in Mississippi. North Dakota entered for Lewenski. New Hampshire, a one pip swipe from Oisin. Pennsylvania as well. That money saved up gets her Illinois and gets her Pennsylvania locked in. As Oisin spends another pip in Texas, but it's not going to get him any bonuses as he swipes Wisconsin as well. Huge spends there by the Big Lewenski as she picks up the high-tech bonus. Now that will help her as she is one pip entered into California. Oisin spending all his money again, not saving as much as the Big Lewenski continues to hold a commanding lead. She's going to be able to get California to the third, and those bonuses will pile up. That turn might be the nail in the coffin for Oisin, the Irish car bomb, as he loses Illinois and Pennsylvania with two massive swipes from the Big Lewenski. If the Big Lewenski is able to win this game, she might even be able to win it via submission. She would become the clear-cut number one ranked cruiserweight. The top two cruiserweights will face off in the first ever championship event as the Big Lewenski locks in Alabama. She brings California to the third. Oh, we have a zero spend. Is that the tap out? I think we see the tap out. New Hampshire she takes back. Vermont to the third. Wisconsin taken back. Do we have a forfeit from Oisin, the Irish car bomb? We do. A submission victory for the Big Lewenski. She gets her win back. She lost to Oisin earlier in the season. Their second game against each other, she pulls out a victory, and not just any victory, a massive forfeit submission victory, making the Big Lewenski now the number one ranked cruiserweight. And then she has a clear path to become the first ever 270 competitive league cruiserweight champion.